In the last part, we got a bit of a feel for the connection between Caucasian Muskets and those from other regions. Before we dive into the main story of this chapter, let's look at another musket that confirmed this point once more. This gun was mentioned on the Viking Sword website, a platform I often refer to in my previous videos. On the 9th of July 2016, a forum member bought this piece at a Memphis auction. It is a percussion caplock musket, but what makes it special is that it isn't a typical Western style firearm. The auction house described it as a Caucasian percussion rifle, but the more research he did, the less certain he became. There were very few pictures of this type of firearm online, and even fewer reliable sources. Was it truly from Caucasus or somewhere else? That is precisely why he posted about it on the Viking Sword forum. Another member answered his question directly, saying, "This is actually Persian." His conclusion was based on several features: the cross-section of the stock, the decorative materials, the barrel referring, and the firing mechanism. However, he was also quite cautious. As he mentioned, the Persian design was adopted early in the Caucasus. Although the shape of Persian and Caucasian firearms differ slightly, we still cannot be 100% sure based on shape alone. The most crucial difference lies in the firing mechanism and the trigger. Many Persian military and hunting rifles of the 19th century adopted the percussion lock and the trigger guards, while many traditional Caucasian mountain rifles retained the magillette locks and exposed button triggers, a design that remained in use until the early 20th century. For this reason, he added the caveat generally, but not invariably. At the same time, this unique gun offers a glimpse into the complex history of the region, where power, politics, national independence, and geopolitical rivalries all intersected. Although this musket uses a percussion cap lock, one can still find many older Caucasian muskets with a magillette lock. Why is that? To answer this, we first need to look at an ancient route, the Georgian military route. Today, this is a 212-kilometer road connecting Tbilisi in Georgia to Vladikavkaz in Russia. The road passes through the Darel Gorge on the Russian-Georgian border, runs through the Terek River Valley, bypasses Mount Caspic and the Georgidi Trinity Church, crosses the Javari Pass at an altitude of 2,395 meters, and follows the Tatry-Aragvi River past Anna Nuri Castle before reaching Musket. This road has been a vital passage across the Greater Caucasus Mountains since ancient times. The earliest written records date back 2,000 years to ancient writers such as Strabo, who mentioned the Porta Caucasia and Porta Cumana in his Geopolitical, and Pliny mentioned passes through the Caucasus. Russian military expeditions began using the route regularly in the late 18th century, especially after 1769. This was a major turning point. From that moment on, Russian power entered the Caucasus, disrupted the delicate balance that had been maintained there for centuries. The land gradually became an arena for geopolitical competition between three great empires, thus Russia, the Ottoman Empire, and the Khajar dynasty of Persia. By the late 18th and early 19th centuries, Russia had gradually gained control over the Kingdom of Georgia after the Treaty of Georgivsk in 1783 and the annexation of eastern Georgia in 1801. Securing the Georgian military road meant that Russia occupied the central Caucasus. Russian expansion created two major fronts of resistance. To the west lay the Russo-Circassian War, also known as the 100 Years' War, lasting from 1763 to 1864. This is the main battlefield in Circassia. To the east was the eastern front of the Caucasus War, especially the Murid movement led by Imam Shamil, found mainly in Chechnya and Dagestan. The western side being closer to the Ottoman Empire and the Black Sea trade routes, had early access to the European weaponry, which explains the presence of percussion rifles. Meanwhile, on the eastern side, the persistence of Megalitlock in eastern Caucasus was not simply due to isolation, but also because the local craftsmen and fighters continued to value a proven regional design. That also explains why Megalitlocks remained in use there until the early 20th century. This context helps us understand why both percussion cap lock and the Megalitlock existed side by side. The conclusion part 2 of our video, exploring the story behind this percussion cap lock musket and the geopolitics in history. In the next part, we will look further into the background of this firearm to see how Caucasian peoples and communities fought and survived in this harsh power game. Through this, we can better understand how firearms become not just weapons, but enduring national icons. That's all for today's video. Thank you for watching. Take care, stay safe, and I will see you next time.